folks. Here we are. We might be drunk. We're really doing it. Good to have you. We got a hot guest, special guest. How the hell are you?
I'm good.
All right.
Good to see you.
It's good to be called special.
Yeah.
And not in the other context.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Well, no, we're excited. I, as I was saying, I rarely look at the Cellar lineup. I was like, oh, you're in town. This is nice. So.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're bi
Ida Rodriguez. We didn't say your name yet.
Oh,
I'm
sorry. My bad.
But are you bi-coastal?
Pretty much.
But you're mostly LA, though.
When it comes to stand-up, I am, though. But I come here to do my stand-up.
Yeah.
I feel... I bombed last night, and it was at
I heard.
at Derek's show.
No,
You did it. If you would have, it was so funny because
Whose show?
Derek Gaines has a show in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
And I did the show
Where in Brooklyn?
at the Brooklyn Comedy Club.
Oh, that's a tough room.
Where is that?
It's on Bedford.
Yeah.
In Williamsburg.
Oh, yeah, everyone bombs in Williamsburg.
No.
That's where you're supposed to bomb. That's
But
where the
it was
cool kids, they don't do comedy, but they look at us, they're like, we see what you're trying to do.
right, the judge.
Oh,
We
those
get
are the
it.
worst people ever. But I did the Cellar, and then I did the Fat Black, and I had two really good sets.
Yeah,
And
I was on the show you were on at the Cellar. They were hot.
I should have just gone back to the hotel. I should have ended there, but then I was like, "Nah, I'm rigged for destruction."
Yeah.
So I went over there, and I had a really bad set. And when you have a bad set in a black room, it is intensified, right?
Yes.
Because then Derek went on stage and killed me after I just bombed. So it was funny.
That's
though.
the worst feeling when I remember I did New Year's in this awful old room called CB's Comedy Club.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
You remember it was like the alt to the Cellar back in the day. But
Right.
I remember I went on, I was there with my girlfriend at the time, it was many years ago, and I bombed so hard, and I was like, well, no one's going to get him. It's New Year's. Literally 3 words up, Yamanika starts crushing. And I was like, it's just me.
Man, I saw Yamanik the other night at a tough room, and she just talked about shit going on, not even written stuff. Killed, and I went up and bombed with my
happens.
tight material.
Yeah.
It happens to the best of us. And you know what it is? No this to anybody. Yamanika is one of my really good friends, and I
Yeah, we
adore
love her.
But the comedy audiences now are mixed in with pop culture people
Yes.
who don't know what stand-up is.
Sing it, sister.
You know what I mean? So they're they go there and they think you're going to dance.
Right.
They want to know you got a gimmick. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Are you going to have a prop? Or are you going to bring somebody on stage
Yes.
and roller skates? This is comedy now, right?
Right. I mean, I was just in Miami Improv. They're
Oh.
too hot. It's all tits. It's all cleavage.
Yeah.
It's all sexy. And I'm the opposite of sexy. I'm like anxiety, huh? And I bite my.
They
my
are
shorts.
hot. Whenever you see a crowd that's too hot, you're like, I'm going to bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It happens at Irvine all the time.
Oh, really? I'm going
Yeah.
there.
And then they go, can you do the skit about you can do anybody's joke? Can
Yeah.
you do the skit? And I'm like, no, I don't do skits, bitch.
Right. I know it's tough.
You've been you go hard on the road.
I have been, I go in and out from the road because the road it's different now. It's really different in terms of I was at the Punchline and two tables were asked to leave because they were told
Sacramento.
to be quiet, and they didn't want to be quiet. And so it was funny because the first table was it was a white guy and his white girlfriend, and they were both they were
Hammered.
acting up. They weren't talking. They didn't want to pay for their drinks.
Oh,
It was
boy.
all stuff. So they get kicked out. And then the Mexican said, hold my beer. And then they went,
really?
because there was somebody in the audience that was like, white privilege.
Right.
And then the Mexicans were like, nah, let me show you that we about this life too.
Hold my cerveza.
And they got, exactly.
Damn.
They ended up getting
Which show is it?
escorted. It was the Friday Night Late Show, of course.
The classic.
Yeah, absolutely.
That area too, you can kind of hear motorcycle gangs going around
true.
at night. You're like, it's weird to be on stage and you.
Oh my God, how you know? It was that night.
Yeah.
And I was like, the Sons of Anarchy are outside. Go join them. It was
Yeah.
it was a whole thing in the parking lot.
It's not good.
Yeah, that's not a great area.
I hate when you can hear the outside in the club because it just takes you out of it immediately.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm up here because I'm insecure. You're doing that because you're insecure.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Right.
It's too much.
Exactly.
Yes. Like if I'm jerking off and I hear my girlfriend in the other room crying, I'm like, hold on, you're taking me out of it. Or helping.
It's always about you.
Yes, exactly.
That is a great club, though. I mean, the other shows are great.
No,
though,
they
right?
were. I mean, all the shows were great.
And you get your people now.
Yes, and the audience was the one that went off on them. I didn't have to say anything.
Oh, I love that.
That was the beauty of it all. This guy was like, if you don't want to be here, shut the F up. Get out. He was like, don't worry, Ida, we got him. I was like, oh, man. It was, the white on white crime was beautiful.
Beautiful. We go hard at each other. We're scared to get called racist, but we'll go at each other.
I feel like the road for a female comic is just hard. It's just harder. I think it's just...
Yeah, in addition to having to be worried about rape and murder,
Yeah.
you also got to get worried about.
Yeah.
I did a show in Corpus Christi, Texas, and they put me in like this motel that was next to a truck stop.
Oh, boy.
No sleep,
The
but
Deliverance Inn, they called it. It's,
Yeah.
yeah, it was. But so this dude so they had a flyer of the show at the desk, the front desk.
Yeah.
And this guy ended up knocking on my door. He was banging my door down drunk. He was a farm league baseball player. The girl in the front desk got scared and told him what room I was in because he was harassing her.
What?
And yes, and he started banging my door down, asking me to bet.
Did you have the deadbolt up?
Yeah, always. I put a chair behind the door. I mean, I'm paranoid, so
That's not paranoid. That's like, you have to. That's crazy.
And so then they
call the cops?
They called the cops and they got him. But it was just, he was just like, I just wanted to talk to her. I didn't know him. I was like, what do? But that's how
Drunk?
weird. Yeah, he was super drunk.
Man, tough time. See, if that happens to me, I'm like, come on in. You know, some softball lady. Well, she's probably not into me, but yeah.
That is fucking horrible. Did that happen a lot?
No, I wouldn't say it happens a lot, but those are things that men
Just
probably
once.
don't have to worry
No.
about, you know?
I walk home late. I got earbuds in.
Yeah. Oh,
You
no.
know, you don't do the earbuds.
Not in public,
can't,
no.
you can't.
Can't even look down on your phone.
Damn.
I have a friend who is, she's actually a public figure. She was in LA walking her dog and and she was bending over to pick up the dog's poop, and a guy just walked up to her and started humping her from the back.
What?
Damn.
She's little, she's small, so it's just out of control right
Wow.
now.
Sorry, Ellie Wong. I had no idea. She's little, I assume.
Yeah, no, I know. It's
No, that's crazy. But yeah, that's why I always say, like, Mark and I are on the road every week, but I always think, like, I mean, you're a female comic who does the road hard. You know, you go hard with it. So I'm like, oh man, I respect that always because I know it's a different thing.
yeah. Even when we went to Bermuda, like
I remember that.
What? You guys dated?
No.
Oh, sorry.
No, we
Years
did a
ago.
show in Bermuda, yeah.
remember
But
that,
the relief was that he was there, so I didn't have to
Hey.
be by myself, right?
Right.
But like
Never
when you
hear
go out
that.
of the country, I went to Dubai, and I had them change my flight. I was there for 24 hours. I did the show, and then I went back to the airport, and I wanted to leave.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't feel safe.
Well,
there.
they got women's stuff over there. It's a
Yeah.
different world with the ladies there. I
Yeah, I
think.
remember there was like weird dudes in Bermuda too. That was a weird gig.
Yes,
That was like a
yeah.
shady gig, actually. I just remember that now. Holy shit, I forgot we did that. That was like,
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's just, and especially when you go overseas. Like we went to South Korea. April Macy and I were on this tour, and this Korean man tried to lock April in his store so he could beat her.
What?
And we had to physically, Julia Lillis and I had to physically.
I almost said why, as if there's any good
room
reason.
up. He was mad at her because
Like,
they hate white women because it's the
Really?
epitome of privilege to them, right? Because in those places, women walk behind the men still,
Right.
like they're still. So April wanted to try on some dresses, mind you. April is shorter than I am, and if I wanted to try on a dress, he was like yes, and then when she was like trying to try on a dress, he was like, no, you too big, like, and
Whoa.
didn't want her. So she went in the dressing room to try on a dress, and he was waiting for her. he took the hook from the thing and threw it at the door. And I was like, I think it's time to go.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then when she came out, he tried to, we had to physically grab him from her.
Jeez, Kim Jong. Ugh. But I mean, it's about time these white women, they get everything. So it's good they get a little hardship.
That's so hilarious.
I'm trying to bring some levity to this because this is all such dark shit.
Dark shit, yeah. But you've been you've been killing it lately. You know, you did the Netflix. Were you touring because of the Netflix thing?
No, my HBO Max special.
Oh
No, but you were with April from the.
Oh, we did that. We started.
Yeah.
No, this was a military tour.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then we were gonna call the cops, and thank God we didn't because we don't speak Korean.
Yeah.
So he could have said anything. He could have said she was stealing.
Oh my
Right.
God.
It'd have been in that Vince Vaughn movie in jail forever.
Oh shit! Yeah, that was his version of Midnight Express, right? Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
But you know what? It's still
Yeah.
there's still nothing like the road when you call yourself a comedian.
You have to. It's a necessary evil.
Yeah.
Mark and I were just talking before you got here. We love the road. Like I'm not on the road this weekend, and I'm bummed. It's like the only weekend I'm not on the road coming up. And I was just in Rochester, New York with Gary Veter does a road with me a lot. And even the worst part of it, like for whatever reason, I saw Jim Norton at the Cellar on Wednesday, the night before we went, and he goes, "You're flying to Rochester? It's the worst flight ever. It's like a shaky plane." For whatever reason, the next day, it felt like we were on a paper plane. The plane was
Really?
shaking. We're landing. He doesn't say anything. They just take back off.
What?
Because the wind was so bad. He goes, and then 10 minutes later, he goes, "I'm sorry about that, guys. We had to go a different angle." We're freaking out. Because there's a woman, by the way, Gary's supposed to be window, and we were going to switch, but this woman wouldn't switch with him. But I'm also like, Gary's like, that's my seat, but he didn't want to argue with her.
Yeah.
She took his seat and then wouldn't switch. But then now he's sitting next to this crazy woman who, once the plane does that, she goes, "Ah!" She's just screaming, and we're just like, oh, fuck. And then, of course, then we get to Rochester, and we're like, we try to make the road fun. Gary's a great hang on the road. I said, find a good restaurant. Let's go there. We start walking there. We're going through what is clearly like not a safe area.
Yeah.
There's dealers on every corner.
Oh, no.
And Gary's like, we can make it. And I was like, dude, we can't. We're going to get robbed. And then as we're walking through, literally, we're waiting for an Uber because I didn't want to walk it. A guy gets in our face and starts fucking with us. And I was like, we're New Yorkers, and we're still like, no. Then and Gary goes, we almost died in a plane a second ago, and I'm more scared just being
Right.
alive here in Rochester.
Oh wow.
But
We're in all these new cities, and we don't know the areas.
I know.
Everywhere-
Colorado Springs was kind of scary.
that happened to me there too.
What? It sounds so nice. Colorado Springs.
It is
It's
like
shady.
it's like Greenland and Iceland. Like
Right.
yeah, you know what I mean? That's
Right.
how Colorado Springs is to me. You think it's beautiful,
Yeah.
and I mean it has beautiful scenery, but it's a different they were a kind group of people that came out to the shows, but walking
Loonies?
about,
Is that where you played? That club Loonies with 2 E's? I remember playing
Oh,
there.
wow. Sounds rough.
Yeah,
No, I was
it
at-
was. I remember I was there at Looney's in Colorado Springs. First off, I have a joke about how it's like a joke, obviously, but I say the most anti-Semitic thing that ever happened to me was, I was in a store and I said, "Do you have any seltzer?" And the woman goes, "We don't sell seltzer here." That's as bad as it got. But that happened in Colorado Springs, where they clearly looked at me like Jew.
Right.
But I remember being in the condo. I'm literally there for 5 minutes. A Jehovah's Witness bangs on my door. I'm like, this fucking
Oh,
sucks.
Jesus.
You couldn't walk around at night. I was in a sketchy part of town, but that club, for whatever reason, all week the bartender's like, "You can have a beer, you pussy." And I was like, all right, I guess I'll have a beer. And then of course I'm pounding beer. End of the weekend, he hands me a bill. I'm like, "You egged me on."
Wow, that's the shadiest of the shady right there.
I love Ida's like, this baseball player's banging on my door. Sam's like, this Jehovah's Witness. Wouldn't leave me alone. Yeah.
Well, they're almost as bad.
Yeah, that's true. They're more persistent, maybe.
They're almost as.
Yeah, I mean, I come from, well, it's not a cult because it's bigger in numbers, so they consider it a sect. But my family was Seventh-day Adventists.
Whoa, what does that mean?
That means they practice like Jews. Like they observe the Sabbath. So on Friday nights, the lights go out. All electricity is off until the sundown on Saturday. And as you worship and you go to church, and they don't eat pork. Like very similar to.
Very similar.
Interesting. And you don't drink because your family was.
No, I don't drink because in spite of all of that, they chose alcoholism. And so
Right.
I don't drink. I come from drug addicts and alcoholics, so I just don't drink. I'm not a big drinker.
That's
I have a
weird to be
drinking
okay with drugs, but you're like, no pork.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's a weird choice.
Well, but most religious people, well, I don't give a fuck. Many religious people are like that. They
Yeah.
are. That's why they need religion, because they need to be controlled.
Structure, yeah.
Yeah, they need that structure, because I'm not religious. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I don't live a wild life. Most of my religious friends are the biggest hoes I know.
Totally. I mean, look at the pedophile priests, all that
Yeah.
shit. It's all, if you go hard one way, you got to come out the other end.
Those pedophile priests are hoes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are.
Absolutely. When we say hoes, we are being inclusive. That means men, women, and non-binary people.
Yeah. Well, my priest only liked the boys, but yeah, he wasn't very
Did he?
inclusive. Oh yeah.
Your priest was a pedo?
I went to a Catholic school, and he got popped years later. I was unscathed.
As long as you didn't get popped.
No.
He didn't go but he went for some of your friends?
Oh yeah, and I was a little hurt. No, but yeah, he was.
That's
he was out
crazy. I
there. He
didn't
got
know
in
that.
trouble. Yeah.
Wow.
That reminds me of a story. My attorney was a child actor, and
Oh, I think I know who your attorney is. Was he from Goonies?
yeah. So
Wow.
But I was telling him that I asked him. I said, "What about all these allegations about like the people getting molested and stuff?" He said, "The advantage of being the fat kid is that nobody wants to fuck you."
They stepped right over Chunk and went to Corey Feldman. That's what happened?
So he was like, "I don't know any of it," because he said
Damn.
nobody wanted to fuck me.
Wow.
Oh my God.
When
He
I'm a
was great.
parent-
That kid
He
ruled.
was great. Yeah.
He's still great.
When I'm a parent, I want to be fat kids all day.
Yeah.
That's your lawyer is Chunk from the Goonies.
Yeah.
That's great. And he's a good guy?
He's the best. I love him. He's my friend too. Like he was here. He came from my taping. He did not come from my taping, but he was at my premiere. That's my friend though. I've known him since I started doing stand up. He is my favorite person in this industry because he does not have a problem telling somebody to go fuck themselves. And I like people who are transparent. Like, I don't do the phony stuff. Like, he'll tell me, he's like, you'll listen to everybody on your team and then like, hey, you should do this because nobody
Yep.
knows who you are. You should do this. And then it'll get to him and he'll be like, I say, fuck these guys.
No,
You're
you
like,
need
you really
that.
gonna do this for this amount of money? Like, and I love him for that.
I do. That's the breath of fresh air because in this business, it's all, how you doing, sport? What's up, kiddo?
No.
Or how about this one? They love you, but they're passing. How do they love me? What the fuck? It's all
Every meeting you
sugarcoating.
walk into, first off, we're big fans. I'm like, well, you passed on my last 7 ideas.
I
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
So you're not huge. People that are like, we're huge fans. You own a network.
They
Right,
love, what they love to tell you. It's a script, right? And I learned it more from when you actually work. Remember when you do a show, people are like, we are so happy to have you. We love you so much. We're so glad you're here. And then your friends will tell you, hey, they said that to me too.
Right,
Like,
right.
You can't love everybody.
I
I
remember
know.
Lou Ferranda at Caroline's, the booker at Caroline's, back in the day. He literally, in front of us, there'd be like 8 comics on New York's Funniest, the
Yeah.
lineup, and he would go, you're a star. You're a star. You're going to be great. He'd turn literally 2 feet away. You'd overhear him go, you're the best.
Right,
He would do
right.
it. He goes outside. There's a pigeon.
Yeah, right.
You're the real king. No, he would like literally everyone. Yeah, I mean everyone does it. None of us are special. You're right. It's a script. It's all.
Yeah.
Although HBO clearly believed in you. I mean, and Netflix. I mean, they get HBO. That was big for you, right? The
HBO
HBO
was-
special.
yeah,
Was that the
no.
biggest one you think for you?
Yeah, that's the biggest special. Yeah, because it was an hour. Because Netflix
Oh,
was
wow.
a half hour. Though I wanted the next special I want to do a half hour.
Really?
Yeah, because I think that the attention span of the average person now because people only the connoisseurs are the ones that watch for quality, that are like, oh, that's some good writing. This is a good comic. This is funny. The average person now, they just consume all of their entertainment. Like,
Bites.
it's odd. And so I think Aziz was brilliant for doing that half
Yeah.
hour. You get in and you get out.
I think you're right because Sebastian, as big as he is, somebody showed me his numbers and it's like a chart that just falls off a cliff after about 38 minutes or so.
Wow.
And these are his fans.
Well, you know, David Tell told me that he's like, I want my next special to be a half hour. Like, so many people are just like, they want. It's a great way to get new fans too.
Yeah.
You leave them wanting more, as opposed to,
Yeah.
as you said, even a huge comic like that.
Right.
The inevitable fall off.
And as road comics, we get to give them a half hour and still have some new shit.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
tucked
to keep
away that they haven't seen.
Yeah, for me that's important too. And you know, like I did a documentary for my special because I wanted to include this documentary. I wanted people to see how people like me mind our jokes. Because like I met my father and I did this whole thing with my dad in the documentary, but I roasted his ass in the special. But I wanted people to see how the jokes come to be because they don't realize that we're just a bunch of insecure people. Like if I was a pastor, you could hold me to this standard. Like if I came to church and say everybody fuck everybody in the room, then you could be like, hey man, I went to this church and this Puerto Rican lady said everybody. But I'm a comedian and I'm like, you guys don't understand. We're don't hold me to the same standard.
We're flawed, and we're telling you we're flawed.
Yeah.
Right? There's anytime you see a comic who's self-righteous, or anytime you feel that they're like holier than thou, you're like, you're the one with the skeletons.
Yeah,
you're the problem. But no, I agree with you completely.
You know, it's funny because like some of the white girls who are like the woke white girls, you know, they write think pieces about me. Like they shitted on me and Jezebel.
Really?
Yeah, because of Louis C.K. Well, because they asked me. I was at the Cellar and the Hollywood Reporter asked me about Louis C.K. and I said. They said, "Do you think he's coming back?" I said, "Absolutely." Right? I don't. His fans are not through. He's not a machine comic. He has a built-in fan base that comes from all over the place. But I was like, look, if you want guys not to pull out their dicks on girls, nobody better than Louis C.K. to tell them guys, right? Because he should be. Then if I say, "Hey guys, don't pull your dicks out on girls," they're gonna be like, "Fuck you. Here's my dick."
Right.
But if he says it, he's the only one that can feed his flock. I'm not. So my point was, hopefully he'll come back and address it and say it's not cool to do this, right?
You know what bugs me about this though too?
Wait. Were you finished?
No. But what I'm saying is that. So I said that, and then I became a rape apologist.
Oh.
And then they wrote all these Slade, Jezebel, and I'm like, all you bitches are fake.
Yes.
You are performative. You act like you don't have any black friends.
Yes.
You don't give a fuck about women, and it's only because of you. Because if you actually cared about women, then you be on the front lines for action, not words. And they came for me, and I'm like. They were demanding that I stop performing at the Cellar because Louis was performing there. I'm like, how many people you think not going to come to the Cellar because Ida doesn't show up?
Right.
Y'all stupid.
And now you're attacking a woman. Like, how is it to come full circle? The irony is so ridiculous.
Was this interview in promotion for your special as well?
This was before the special came out. But I was really salty about it because in the name of women empowerment, they used their whiteness and weaponized it against me. And that was racist, right? Now, and I didn't say that. I didn't go out and say, you racist white bitches.
Right.
I just said, all of y'all can eat a dick because at the end of the day, I really believe that this is all performative.
Yeah.
It's all fake. And it was just...
It's in the name of clicks.
Yeah, in the name of clicks and also to demonize me. That's like when people, that's why I said I don't want to talk about Joe Rogan or when people ask me, I just say, why don't you ask Conan?
Oh.
Why don't you ask me about me if you're interviewing me?
Yeah.
Right.
That's kind of my issue is that you have specials coming out. You're on the road. You have stuff. Like, I think it takes away from you to make everything about a dude. I mean, or about any other comic. Why are we talking about another comic? I always resent that when they're like, I heard Bill Burr have the best response to a guy asking about Louis when it first broke. A guy goes, what do you think about Louis? He goes, what do you think about Louis? And the guy was like, he goes, yeah, that's how I feel. And I was like, that's the best way to just, fuck you. Here's what you sound like.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me hold a mirror up to you.
Exactly. No, you're too scared to talk? All right. Well, stop trying to ruin my fucking career so you can get a fucking
Don't
click.
ask us. Go ask the people who have equal or more power. Those are the people. If you want to take, ask Conan.
Right.
Ask Jimmy Fallon what he feels about Joe Rogan saying, I guarantee you won't.
Right.
But you want clicks. And then I don't want that kind of fame. That's not how
I'm with you.
You
It's
know what I'm saying?
short-lived. That type of fame is
Short money.
It's you're going for something very short-lived.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean that I am in favor of sexual assault or whatever, but at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff that comes from one person's word against the other, and you get caught up in it, and then you end up being the one that suffers the consequences for speaking about it, and you don't even know what happened.
Yeah.
Right? Like for me, I didn't even have the information. I was like, well, if he comes back, he should tell people not to pull their dicks out. That's all I can say, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
you know what I mean? Who better to tell the people, than their hero?
Right.
Why would they listen to me? And they said that I was trying to, I was being an apologist and I was being moderate and I needed to take the side of women. And I'm like, it's so funny when you hear people say that. Like,
I think your side is actually very feminist, what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're saying this is on him to do this. Why is this on me?
yeah, that exactly. And the other thing is like, I've been sexually assaulted. So when I talk about it, I'm speaking from a place of experience, right? So,
Right.
but I'm not gonna, I'm just sitting here listening to these people and I was like, I hate it here. This new wave of where we are now. It's like all is lost because
I agree.
We are operating from listening. Everybody has a voice and nobody has sense.
Yes.
And that shit is scary. Like,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Well
It's
said.
like,
Well, the need
I think you
for
nailed it.
for content has outweighed reason. Well, it's like we're talking more than we're thinking, and that's bad for anything. But like that's what happened to journalism.
Yeah.
There's journalists now. Like think about the range of journalists. It's like there's journalists who are like who's influencing Putin behind the scenes, but then there's journalists who are like, look how ugly this woman got from the 1980s.
Yes.
Right.
How many articles do you see like that? Like this woman ran Hollywood in 1980s. Here's what she looks like today. I'm like,
Right.
that you're a journalist too?
Yeah.
I know.
You get the
I
same
know.
title?
yeah, no, it's crazy.
And they
you
just started doing this when it got popular too. It wasn't like they were out on the
Yes.
front lines back, 10 years ago. Just this became a thing and people jumped on board. And now they act like heroes.
And it's funny because you can see the monsters grow, right? Like you watch people that you never heard of before, and then they say, fuck Chinese bitches. And then people are like, and they're like, oh, they like fuck Chinese bitches.
Ah.
Eat Koreans out. Like, and then it just grows
Right.
and grows. And by the time it's over, they're a fucking monster. That happened to Donald Trump. At
Right.
first, Donald Trump, when Donald Trump talked about running for president before, people just laughed at him.
Yeah.
And then we got to idiocracy,
Right.
right? And listen, the Trump people, I hate them all. So don't think that I'm riding for Biden.
I hate that we have to say that now. 'Cause
Yeah.
I do feel like you do because I'll make Biden jokes and people will get upset. But like I make Trump jokes, they get upset. I'm like, hey, guess what? It's the job of the comedian to make fun of the president.
Everybody.
Yes,
everybody.
exactly.
I hate that we even have to preface it with like, hey, I don't like the. Guess what? We're comedians.
I know.
Yeah.
But we got to put everybody in a bin now. Like, if Biden shits his pants, I'm going to
Yeah.
make a joke about it. And they go, oh, you're anti-Biden? I'm like, I'm a pro shit joke is what I am. Stop trying to put me and figure me out and then judge me accordingly. Is it funny or is it not funny?
Yeah, I got trashed in Florida. I remember one of the reviews was he made fun of our president. I was like,
You mean
it's
like
a
every
comedy
comedian?
show.
Yeah.
But those are the people that were shouting to shoot Hillary Clinton.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not about you making fun of the president.
Well, people get mad if you shit on Hillary too. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
but
really
it's
the thing.
like, but you have to shit on Hillary. You
Yeah.
can't. Show me a politician that's clean, and I'll show you a cartoon show because that shit does not exist.
No.
They all get checks. They all got interests, and it's so funny that people have been. There's a rules like, and everybody has a mic, so you see these people dumb as hell. She attacked our president. She doesn't even understand. You know what? She wants all of the immigrants to come and take all of our jobs. All they do is repeat all the talking
Yes.
points. And it's a lack of education.
Do you know when I think it really got bad? Is when remember the guy threw the shoe at George Bush,
yeah.
and everyone thought it was funny.
That's
He
the beginning
That
of
was the
end.
beginning of us being like, fuck the president. But
Yeah.
also like, I don't get why you can't make fun. I mean, it's like.
No.
I do feel a little resistance when I make a Biden joke in New York, or I do make a
yeah.
Biden joke in,
Sure, yeah. Everybody's scared. And I don't. They might even agree with you. They're just like, I'm in New York. I can't be seen laughing at this.
it'll get worse for the next election cycle too. If Biden runs again, I don't know how the hell he will, but if Biden runs
It's
again,
gonna get worse. It continues
Yeah.
to get worse because we spend more money on bombs than school. And so you have a whole bunch of people who, like FDR said, the greatest threat to democracy was a lack of education. And so you can see it now. Like, and people don't realize how bad it is because they think, oh, you know, this is always happening. It has not always happened.
No, this feels new.
This is very new.
Crazy he said that before TikTok because it's gotten worse. We're getting dumber every year. I really feel I'm getting dumber.
So you remember Facebook was a lot of words.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? And then they went to Twitter and condensed the words. Now we went to pictures.
Yeah.
And then from pictures we've gone to videos. But
The
they're like
videos have gotten shorter.
Uh-huh.
We're going to go back to Vine. Vine is going to come back.
Yeah. But you know
6 seconds?
I watch a lot of this shit, and a lot of games and stuff kids are playing now are very simple. It's almost like there's kind of this movement to go back to interacting, duck, duck, goose type shit, and like I'll watch these kids play these dumb games where like they flip a bottle and it lands on the table and they're like, ah! And it's almost like they're getting away. They have to get away from the screen. And we watch this shit like, that's so entertaining. I'm like, that's what we did in our basement. We were at 7 because we had fucking no Wi-Fi.
Yeah, but now they're doing like 8 things at once. So I think it went from like that simple game and that was all you did.
Right.
And then it went to like, oh, this is a really intense RPG I'm playing. And then it turned into like, I'm going to watch a movie while playing the simple game.
Right.
While on the phone with a friend. Like you're doing a ton of
That's
things.
true. I watched the Gerard Carmichael special. I had my phone going. I had an iPad and a computer gun. I'm like, I should just watch a comedy special. Now I got 38 things open, and I was jerking off.
You know what?
So yeah,
Wow.
I know.
He looked good. He
He's
looked
hot.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a hot gay man.
They're really
We Might Be Drunk is excited to welcome our new sponsor, Diet Smoke. Most of us have had a I don't think this edible is working moment. Then 10 minutes later, you're on the couch and you can't remember the word cat. I've been there. Edibles can hit you when you least expect it, and their dosage can be very uncertain. That's why when we need the perfect medium high, we hit our friends at Diet Smoke for the delicious Delta 8 THC gummies. Each gummy is infused with 10 milligrams of Delta 8 THC derived from American-grown hemp. Delta 8 is simply a slightly less potent THC. The high you get with Diet Smoke is somewhere between the chillness of CBD and that classic stone feeling you get with regular weed. Plus, Diet Smoke comes in 2 delicious flavors, blue raspberry and watermelon. I've been taking this stuff to go to bed. You know me, I can't get high. I go inward, I hug my knees, I think of my dad, I cry. This stuff is top notch. It's just what I need. It's like having a light beer.
It's great. I heard your dad does the same thing. He gets on his knees. He thinks of you. He cries. It's all because of this stuff right here.
That's how I got in this mess. Meth. Oh, jeez. It's legal in most states and non-prescription. Yeah. Just check Diet Smoke's website to see if they ship to your state. Also, their gummies are low in sugar, fat-free, and delish.
So when CBD isn't enough and traditional THC is too much, enjoy the smooth buzz of Diet Smoke. That's dietsmoke.com. Use promotional code DRUNK for 20% off your order. That's dietsmoke.com, promo code DRUNK, 20% off. As a special offer, Diet Smoke's coupon code can be used on every order. So give it a shot, come back, say like, yeah, I'm doing this again, 20% off again. Diet Smoke's Delta 8 THC gummies are not for use or sale to people under the age of 21. Please use responsibly. Diet Smoke isn't light. It's just right.
Hey, We Might Be Drunk is brought to you by Sheath Underwear. I won't even look. I bet I'm wearing them right now. Oh, there they are, folks.
I'm not today, but I usually am.
He usually is. I can vouch. I've seen his asshole. The official 2-pouch underwear of comedy fans everywhere. Sheath Underwear has been cradling nuts and schlong since 2013.
Who wrote this? My aunt?
We love them. You'll love them. They got it for men, women. It's the best. They're soft. They're sexy. They're slick. They're sleek. You got the balls and the nuts separated. Finally, they need some me time. Plus, it's invented by a Army soldier and comedy superfan, Robert Patton. He knew there had to be a better way to unstuck the junk, and Sheath was born. Futuristic dick pouch aside, this underwear is comfy, cool, and comes in so many different patterns. You can have a Sheath pair ready for any occasion. And they didn't leave out your lady drunks either. the comfort you guys know for your balls, Sheath has applied to boobs with the sports bras. Tell them how to do it, Fatty.
Although we're drinking, I might need one of them. Go to sheathunderwear.com and order with promo code DRUNK to get 20% off your first order and Sheath 100% money back guarantee. That's sheathunderwear.com, promo code DRUNK. Get Sheath Underwear and let them support your ball bag.
Yeah, what more do you need? Wearing them right now. We Might Be Drunk is brought to you by Displate. Displate is a one-of-a-kind metal poster designed to capture your unique passions. They have millions of cool designs available featuring gaming, movies, comics, anime, with officially licensed designs from Bethesda, Star Wars, Netflix, and many more. It only takes 20 seconds to set up with no power tools, no damages, no frustrations. And once you mount one, you can switch out a new one in a flash. Wow, look at that, folks. Holy hell. Look at that metal. Is it upside down?
Yeah, it's upside down.
Oops, sorry, everybody. There you go.
The Triple Lindy.
Yes. And with everyone that you buy, Displate will plant a tree. Tell them how, Samuel.
Click the link on our description to see some of our favorite Displates and get our special discount, 23% off up to 2 Displates or 34% off 3 or more Displates, which will automatically be applied to your cart when you click the link or use code DRUNK when you visit Displate.com. It's an amazing deal and only available for a limited time. And, I mean, that's a classic poster.
Classic.
Love
and
it.
It's light. It's fresh. It feels good.
Whoa.
Look, I think it comes with some minis, too. Look at that. A magnet there. Super cool. Thank you, Displate. Get on it. Get your own thing.
You want to see some scary stuff? Go to YouTube to the kids section, and then they have these videos where they're like, all they do is just stack something, right? And then it's 30 minutes of stacking, balls, and they have millions of views. So
Isn't that
somebody
interesting?
sits there and watches the balls get stacked in order.
Weird.
I do that on a different website.
No, but you look at it because my niece, she watches the kid stuff, and I was like, has she just been watching like?
There you go.
It's
mad that I didn't.
But why not
there we
go
go.
stack the balls, kid? Why are you going to watch the ball stacking?
But they sit there, and it's like, look at that, 7.5 million views.
Wow.
Hilarious.
That's more than all our specials put together.
I should close with this on my shows. I'm bombing here.
It's unbelievable. Like, and it's like other stuff too, like like slime, and then
What's the slime one? What is that?
The slime one.
Oh boy,
There it is.
it's not real slime.
No, but
Remember when people used to get slimed? Was that Nickelodeon or something?
Yeah.
somebody playing with slime, right?
That's it.
3.1.
3.1 million.
No,
What is
look
it?
at the one above it. 74 million views. You see that?
What is that? What is he actually playing?
It's just
with?
playing
gack
with
goo
slime.
shit. Yeah. This is the video. Holy shit.
74 million views.
Is it supposed to put you at ease? Is it supposed
I don't
to
know,
calm you?
but no, it's just supposed to keep you dumb so that they can raise taxes and
right.
replace teachers.
Yeah. Wow. Look at that.
Is it maybe that it's just such a lack of?
Interaction?
I mean, you don't really have to expect anything from it.
74 million. You know how sad it is to watch this with your niece?
Yeah.
And then move over to your page. I'm like, how do I get these kids over here?
When I was a kid, I remember my parents being like, get out of the house. Like, they would push me out, and then they would be like, you can't come back for whatever. And it was weird, but you made it work.
Yeah.
I feel like that now there's just so many options that why would you go outside?
Well, it's making you lonelier. Like kids are going to be much lonelier now because that forced interaction, that forced discomfort, it made us better listeners.
Yes.
But then you see now on the phone, it's like we've all done the phone stuff too much. You never feel good after it.
No.
I put this do you have the screen time thing where you see?
I can't. I'm terrified to look.
Too painful.
It's so. The other day I was like, no wonder you don't have anything in life. This is it right here. You dedicated your life to the internet, the World Wide Web.
Do you really feel that way? You have really?
Yeah.
That's a lot of screen time.
I
It's
spent
hours.
a lot of. I could have written 2 movies in the last year with all the money that all the
Exactly.
time that I spent on the internet. It's addictive.
It is. And they make it addictive. They know how to program it to where you keep watching.
It's no different than a video game. When you ever just play a video game too much, then when you're done, you're like, that was nothing.
Yeah.
Zilch.
I just did nothing.
Yeah.
I rotted my brain. And look, sometimes I'll like do it when I'm drunk or something. Get home. Like, it's 2 a.m. What else am I going to do? I'm not going to sleep yet. But when you actually, you ever play the video games during the day and you're just like, why? I just feel
that's
so
a
unproductive.
you can't even touch it during the day.
Yeah, you can't.
But if you have gym, weights, versus phone, it's just so much easier. Fuck it.
Yeah.
It's too right there. It's just boom, it's open.
Everything in here, almost everything is a bad decision.
Yeah.
Think about it. Isn't that crazy? Whatever social media app I order, whatever food delivery service, a dating app.
Yeah.
Like, everything is going to lead to me just being sad.
Everything they told us not to do when we were kids. Don't get in cars with strangers.
Right.
You know what I mean? Don't eat food from it. Everything they told us not to do, we do. Look how you date on the internet.
Yeah, it's all digital now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Facebook is you talking to people you don't know. Like, it's
Right.
just unbelievable.
Oh, talking to strangers.
All
Good
they don't
point.
talk to strangers.
Do you ever respond to DMs?
No, because you know what? The DMs are too unpredictable.
I'm waiting.
Yeah.
I'll get it. So I used to, right? So then it'll go from, hey, Ida, I really like you. I think you're funny, to, oh, I don't really like women comedians, but I like you, right?
There's a lot of that one.
Then there's a guy who sent 7 pictures of his dick, 7 different angles.
Damn.
In case you weren't sold on the 6th picture.
I know.
Yeah.
I was like,
Here's an aerial shot.
It's like
Yeah.
Fast and the Furious. There's all these sequels.
I had to go. I tried my best not to, because it's just, you never know what you're gonna get. in
Yeah.
there. Somebody put on Facebook, do you still live on Magnolia Boulevard? Like,
Whoa.
yes.
What?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
That's creepy.
It's creepy. It's like it's bananas on the internet.
It is. You ever have that thing where you check a text? Like, I'm just going to look at a text. And then before you know it, it's 48 minutes have gone by because you check the text, then you open another
Yes.
thing, and it's
Yes.
over.
It's sad, like when in that Adam Sandler movie Click.
Yeah.
Or like there was this movie called Sliver back in the day where I love watching like old movies from the 80s and the 90s. And they
Sure.
had this movie that Sharon Stone was in. And it's like somebody that's watching everybody in the building, and they have all these monitors, and you see everything that's happening in the building. And you look at that stuff and you'd be like, wow, this is crazy. That's where we are now. Like,
Right.
if you ever like go through the reels and then it seems so desperate, right? Like
Yes.
somebody's like doing a makeup tutorial, then somebody's twerking.
Yeah.
Then somebody's giving you a motivational speech. Then there's a new dance. And you just scroll and you're like, God, we are monkeys that can talk.
Yeah.
It's over.
The dancing to me is the worst. I mean, like at least the motivational speakers like trying to put something positive into the world.
Sure.
The dancing, I'm like, this is just for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is you. You're hoping for people to be like, you're amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a weird mindset to think, I'll dance and people will like it. No one, I would never assume people would want to watch me dance. I'm not a good dancer.
It's a
but
good assumption.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
yeah.
But when a
very
white
weird.
person can dance, oh my God, they go viral because they're like, it's, like you had a big white lady who could get down, like, and everybody was posting her videos.
Yeah.
Like they're impressed that she can dance.
Right.
And I'm like, God, this is all is lost.
Well, do you think that's why podcasting is insanely popular?
Mm-hmm.
Is this why? Because people are interacting. We're having deep conversation. No one does this anymore.
Well, I think talk radio for a long time was only geared towards a certain group of people. And a lot of people want to hear your perspective. They love you. They want to hear what you have to say about other things. And now podcast gives talk radio to everybody. Not just that specific group. I used to feel like talk radio was just for like older men that were maybe over 35
Yes.
that wanted to hear about what's going on in the world. Like that's where the smart people used to listen to the radio,
Yeah.
right? They would be like, I don't listen to music. I only listen to talk
Right.
radio.
My mom was like that. And I wanted to kill myself as
Yeah.
a kid. I'm like, put on music. It was NPR.
Oh, same
All
here,
things
my mom.
considered.
Yeah.
Brutal.
But then now I'm older. I'm like, I love fresh air.
I
Like,
know.
love this stuff.
I know,
I
same.
think it's like fresh air is like my favorite.
Yeah, but at the time,
Yeah, no. The New York Times podcast is a good one. Like they
Yeah?
have a really good
The
one.
Daily, you like
the
that
Daily
one?
one.
It's great.
It's in the top 10.
damn.
You know, the top 10 podcasts in the world, 4 of them about crimes.
Yep. Those are big.
Rogan is one. They call her daddy is two.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. She's huge. Well, I remember that New York Times had one I particularly like called The Argument, and it's different hosts now, but it used to be 3 people with all different opinions, and they were pleasant about it.
Oh, you don't see that anymore.
It's so rare to see people, because you turn on cable news, it's like, you idiot, and let me finish.
Yeah.
You know, it's all that, which is
right.
just shut up for adults. Let me finish. But but they were friends with different opinions where you're like, you can have that still.
Yeah,
you can still
yeah.
be friends and like, you know.
Yeah, we have different, you think you're funny.
And you think you're funny. It's true.
exactly.
You know?
So
We can still get
what
along.
with this podcast? Oh, it's called We Might Be Drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you done it drunk?
Oh,
Many
I mean, we have a
times.
full bar here. I mean, yeah, we but we're doing 2 today, so we're like, well, let's pace ourselves.
Okay.
Because we're on the road a lot. So when we're together, sometimes we'll do 2 in a day. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Nice.
we don't get like hammered.
Right.
We that would be bad. That would be bad.
It's
radio.
happened, but
Yeah.
it's always towards like the last 10 minutes you can tell we're slurring and kind of.
That's fun.
Nod
That sounds
Mark
Mark
like
says
fun,
the
though.
N word, and I,
Yeah, exactly. Hey, it
Slurring.
worked for Rogan. But yeah.
It did. It didn't affect nobody. All the stuff that happened, and they were like, "We're gonna instead of taking his money, we're just gonna give some money to people of color and give them some money."
right.
So
That's the move.
it felt like, all right, you guys will get your chance to get on a podcast and say cracker, 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 cracker.
Yeah, cut that up, will you? That'll be the trailer.
No, we don't get really drunk. I mean, it would be terrible. I mean, it's the same when you're on stage. I mean,
Do you
Mark
drink
and I
at
have.
shows?
Well, I used to more. It's very hard to
After.
crank out. Yeah, after I can do, but to crank out new material and your drink, it's very hard. And
Yeah.
sometimes the crowd's hammered and they want you to be on their level a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's like and they'll send you drinks and you kind of want to be like, hey man, I'll have like one, but the show is gonna get bad.
Yes.
Oh yeah. What I do is I have the bartender send me shots of water. So they don't know
Nice.
because they, like I was doing a show where the majority of the audience they were all white and Mexican in Corpus Christi.
Yep.
And they kept sending shots. So I just told the bartender that night, I said, listen.
This is the worst gig of all time, Corpus Christi.
Yeah. Just put water in the shots and just say it's like the white tequila, the clear.
Right.
Because I couldn't possibly.
But you look like a badass just popping those waters
Yeah,
back.
yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
damn.
Yeah,
Good for
you're just
you.
looking at them like you really are idiots. Like, I fucking hate you people. You ever hated an audience?
Oh,
It's tough. Yeah,
of
sometimes
course.
toward the end of the show, they're shit faced, and you're just like, I gotta wrap this up.
Yeah.
Like, there's something so delicate about the balance. It's like that Jackie Chan movie, Legend of the Drunken Master. When he hits the perfect drunk level, he's
Yes,
great.
yes.
But then that one, you 20 minutes in, you're like, they're drunk and they're amazing. But I know at like 47 minutes, this is gonna turn. You just
Right.
know.
You don't want that. You already know. You feel it when
Yeah.
when it's already starting
Oh, yeah.
to make that turn, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get out of here.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I had a crowd in Fort Lauderdale last week, and every show was great, but one show was older, rich people, and they hated everything, but they'd go, that one was good. That was good."
Yeah.
And that fucking drove me crazy. I wanted to snap.
It's because they're calling you like mediocre.
Yeah,
It's
but-
worse than saying you suck, because then you're like, well, you're wrong, but mediocre, you're like, that could be true. This
Yes, you're
Oh,
validating
yes.
every thought I've already had.
And as if you need their validation. Though.
I
It's
know.
like, why do you come?
I know.
And why didn't you look me up before you came
They
so
never
that you
do.
wouldn't? But have you ever walked into a music venue and said, "I don't know who's playing tonight. But I'm just walking
Exactly.
in here."
It's so weird.
Why do you do that with us?
I know. You
What-
can get Andrew Dice Clay or you can get Nanette. You know,
Yeah.
comedy's a big umbrella.
I want to see Andrew Dice and Annette. That's the show I want to see. Hickory dickory, I had a tough year this year. I did a show, one of the Rochester shows. I was doing really well, but there's one guy in the front row, and all I could think was, this guy fucking hasn't smiled once. It's
No.
been 45
It'll
and,
drive you crazy, right?
and the rest of
Yeah.
his table was laughing. I'm like, why is he so unhappy? I'm killing.
I know.
It's so funny how we focus on all the we don't focus on all the positivity. We focus on the negative. Like
I
we're
know,
just like that
100%.
one person. That's how insecure we are. We're like, why don't you like me?
Yeah.
You know, my father left me when I was 2.
And that's
then
your dad. You see it. You feel like it. It feels like that's your dad.
But statistically, if you break it down, you're like, there's a 300 seater. There's one person here who doesn't like me. If 299 out of 300 people like me, generally. I'm doing pretty damn good.
Damn
Absolutely.
great.
Too good, you would say.
But you
Right.
want to crack the nut. You're
Yes.
like, why? What is wrong with you?
Yes.
Why aren't you laughing?
But we don't remember this guy could have gotten divorced yesterday,
Yeah.
or this guy could have can't get it up or whatever,
Yeah.
and he's thinking about that. But we make it must be me.
Yeah. Or you could hate you though.
Or you can hate you. That's
could.
true too. I hate me.
Same. We're twins.
What
Oh,
any venues you're playing coming up that you're looking forward
Yeah,
to?
so that's a question right there. I heard the first part. I'm in San Antonio at the end of the month. I like LOL. I have a good time.
Yeah,
I
it's
do too.
also San Antonio is an underrated city.
Yeah.
Great food, great Mexican food.
I agree. I have a good
Yeah.
time in San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to Kansas City. I'm going to Detroit, and I'm going to Peoria.
Home of Richard Pryor.
Yeah, and Sam Kinison.
Yeah. Richard Pryor
and the
statue.
KKK.
Are you playing? Is the jukebox you're playing?
No, we're playing. It's a 2-person show. Me and D. Ray Davis are doing the show.
Yeah,
nice.
he's big.
It's like he's doing the Civic Center. The Civic Center. He's been selling out a lot.
Yeah, he's killing it. I just saw him on. I watched the Kanye doc, and he's in it quite a bit.
So, how'd you like the doc?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I gotta watch it.
I love anything with an origin. How'd you get from here to here? I love how determined he was, and it's great. And then seeing him kind of get weird, and they kept it all in. It's really. Have you seen it?
No, I'm gonna watch it.
It's great.
I was told that when I watch it, I'm gonna really learn how bad my mother was from watching it because he had the best mother ever. That's what I heard.
Are you not close with your mom?
No, I am close with my mom,
Yeah.
but my mom is not renting a U-Haul truck to take me across country to do stand-up.
I felt in love with his mom. There's a scene where he's, still a young guy, and they're rapping his lyrics from a school talent show he did when he was like 6. And his mom she knows every lyric. I'm like, my mom couldn't name one joke that I've written over the years.
Your mom doesn't watch it. They've come to see you though.
Yeah, but they couldn't do a joke.
Does your mom know?
Yeah, my mom could
you
definitely.
and your mom.
My mom's a very good mom. She definitely knows.
No, I can. You always talk about her. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, my mom. She talks about the old jokes. Like she doesn't realize that it's a rap. Like that's not my Thriller.
Don't you hate that when people yell out like old bits and you're like, I don't remember how to do that
don't
one.
wanna
I
do
don't.
it anymore.
Totally.
Yeah.
I moved on.
I burned that. I'm trying to write a new hour.
Yeah, exactly. They don't want to let you go, and it's an interesting place where the audience feels like they have so much power now.
I know.
Well, they're more sophisticated. The audiences are more because of podcasts. I think they
Right.
just know comedy in a way where older crowds didn't really. Because back in the day, you want to hear like inside comedy. It was like one of the. It's like on a disc. You have
Yes.
to buy it at HMV or something.
Yeah, that was huge. Or for us.
I think LA is probably one of the worst places to do stand up when you're doing like the Hollywood crowds. Like if you go do the outskirts where the people are that go to work,
Yes.
I hate getting off stage and somebody says, just a regular person will say, I loved your set. I got a tag for you. Bitch! Ew, why? Why do you know what a tag is?
I know.
Don't come to the shows. I
No.
hate those people. They're the worst.
They don't do that shit at Hamilton either. Like,
No.
hey, Aaron Burr should have died. Like, what? I'm just in the fucking play. Leave me alone.
What? So you're doing like the outskirt club, not like you're talking about like Laugh Factory and the Improv. It's like the people.
No, I mean I think the Improv more than the Laugh Factory has an audience that really thinks because of the Wednesday shows. I don't know what it is. Comedy Juice. Those people were there every week.
Yeah.
And they love comedy in a way where they think they know the terminology.
Right.
And they're just some of them don't. They're not laughing. That's funny. And I'm like, when you get scared, do you ever say that's scary? No, you just get scared. I hate those people, right?
Yeah.
But they think they know comedy. They really do. So I like going. Long Beach the Long Beach Laugh Factory always has like a working class audience. They come there to laugh. They don't come there to, write a bit for you.
Right.
But I like those like off places too.
I do
like,
too.
In LA.
It's the best. I mean, the outskirt cities. People are always like, "Why are you in that city?" I'm like, "Cause they fucking laugh."
The people.
Yeah, and they like jokes.
Because to be only doing like certain markets, then you're only connecting to that type of person.
Yeah.
And our job is to connect. Our job is to be entertainers. So why are you limiting yourself to who you can entertain? It's an
good
insane
point.
thought process to
And a
me.
little elitist.
It's very elitist, but also it's like
yeah.
Also, some of those smaller cities have the best clubs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Madison, Wisconsin is not a huge city. That's a great club. I was just in Rochester. That's a great club.
Yeah.
Rochester, New York.
Well, I'll
got a
tell
point.
you, comedy was sad when people who didn't believe in vaccinations and masks couldn't come to the shows because they're the ones that laugh.
I know they're the best laughers for sure.
Am I right? They're the ones.
They're
who
nodding their head like, was that funny or problematic? I can't
No.
tell. No, you're right. They just fucking laugh.
Yeah, they're like, fuck science. Those are the people. That's why I said I need balance. Like, I can't
Yeah.
just have a bunch of people who love that it's an elitist. It's a lot of people who've gone to college,
Yep.
have opportunities, have learned a lot of things, and then they come back and judge the people who haven't had the opportunity to have
Right.
that level of education and expect you to catch up. And
Yeah.
that's a hard thing. Like, you want me to be right where you are when you just went and spent $250,000 on an education,
Mm-hmm.
and I was working at a financial firm as an assistant. Like,
Right.
how do you expect me? And people got mad at me because I said I could never tell my grandmother about pronouns.
Right.
She was illiterate. She didn't know what a pronoun was. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I could never tell. In Spanish, you tell
Yeah.
your grandmother, I'm not Aida anymore. I'm nosotros. You know?
Right.
She would be like, call the doctor. This bitch is schizophrenic. Like, we gotta
a great
get.
bit.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
But it's we could never like. And for me to, I'm not gonna throw my grandmother away because she
Yeah.
has issues. Like that's the time she grew up in.
Exactly.
We do have more in common, and it's like we talked about the phone before that
Yeah.
you see we gravitate toward negative comments, but then when you're in person, sometimes we do it with that one guy. But when you really look at the grand, just everything around us, it's like no, we're more connected than we're not. Like we do
Yeah.
have more in common, and entertainment, like laughing together, it's the best. It's really
Yeah.
awesome.
I know, but that pronoun stuff bugs me because they're like, hey, that's insensitive. And I'm like, well, so is calling me a racist or a bigot. Like, that's insensitive. And you could ruin my career also.
Yeah.
So it's weird that they're like all about sensitivity and empathy, but I'm like, you're the meanest person I know. You're ruining my life. You know?
It's funny because I did Bill Maher's podcast. And,
Oh, wow.
How
So
was that?
it was cool. You know, Bill is Bill.
Big pothead.
Bill is 66 years old. So he has a very different perspective than a lot of us. And
Yeah.
that doesn't excuse, he's also rich. And I can't relate to him on a lot of things, but I can still have a conversation with him because, I like to think that I'm able to have a conversation with a person that doesn't want me dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't. And I think Bill, he's cool with me. But we were talking about like the differences of, where you are in your life. Like how, I have no idea what it's like to be Will Smith, Chris Rock. I don't have that kind of money.
Yeah.
But it's like we were talking about how ageism is the one acceptable ism.
So true.
Right? Like nobody defends older people. Like
No.
shut your old ass up is what they do on Instagram. Or for me, like I'll block you if you call me auntie because I'm not fucking related to you. And that's a microaggression. That's
Right.
you trying to tell people I'm older than you
Yes.
and trying to call me old on the
And
sly.
a boomer or some
But then
shit.
you look at their pages, and those are the advocates. Those are the ones.
Exactly.
Words
That's
hurt.
what I'm saying. That's
You
what
know
I'm
what I'm
saying.
saying? And I'm like,
Exactly.
But you can call me old,
Right.
Right, but I can't call you soft.
Yeah, your thing's okay, but when I do it, I'm a dick. But you're not a dick, So we do it all the time. We go, hey, Lena Dunham's fat as shit. Hey, that's fat shaming. Well, Chris Christie's fat as shit. You got that right. It's like, well, if you care so much about fat, you gotta go all the way with it. You can't just
Absolutely.
pick and choose. Not that I'm a fan of either of them.
Yeah.
But they're equally as funny.
It's hilarious. You know what? I respect the people that can say that. Like, who was it? They were shaming somebody the other day on the internet. And I was like, you gotta stand up for that guy.
Yeah.
Like you can't have it both ways. If you saying that this is not okay, then it's not okay for the person you don't like either, right? If you don't want to
Exactly.
fat shame, you don't want to, want to be homophobe, you don't want to be transphobic. It can't just be the people you like.
Right.
And
right.
you see that a lot online.
Yes, for
That's
sure.
why it's fun to agree with someone who you normally wouldn't agree with. When you see someone on the internet and you're like, I have not a lot of common with this person, but we're on the same, just finding one thing, because then you're like, oh wow, we are. When you focus on the things we have in common, you just feel better about life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
nuance, we're devoid of nuance, right?
Oh yeah.
yeah, well, especially on the internet.
Yeah, you can't be. So even like now, your team, and I said I was going to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about this. You're the team Will or team Chris. And I saw people use that terminology. I'm team Chris.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what are all y'all going to do? What'd you say?
I used it for Chris.
No, but what I'm saying, what are y'all going to do when they make up, though? Like the people who are like killing each other on the internet. Like,
Right.
what are you going to do? You can still say what he said was insensitive to her, whether he knew she had alopecia or not. We know that it was insensitive. And at the same time say it wasn't cool for him to slap him on.
Right. I agree.
But
Two
you
things
can't
can
do
be
that
true.
anymore.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. It's got to be
Well,
in a bin.
that's 2 sentences. That's tough.
Yes.
Right.
2 sentences versus 2 words. 2 words is bam, quick, right?
Yeah.
But no, I agree with that.
And
for sure.
it gets to the point where it's like you don't want to say anything anymore if you're intelligent. It's the dummies who's fuck babies in China. Like those are the people that but if you're smart, you're like, there's no winning in this situation.
Yeah, I'm staying out.
It's fanaticism. It's me versus you. It's pretty much the same as me going, fuck the Celtics.
Yeah.
Which I do.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, it's like, go Knicks, fuck the Celtics. Like, it's the same mindset, but now with everything.
But that's what's great about sports is we have those tribalism, those qualities in us, but sports puts it on like a surface level. It's all fun. Every now and then a guy will get beat up for being a Jets fan at the whatever game. But it's like you watch a game, it's 3 hours, you go home. You know, it's not, this is like, this whole shit now is like so, it's like tribal, all in.
All
this is
day.
my whole personality. This is my whole life. The sports thing, you're in, you're out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think having a black president in this country really messed people's heads up.
Really?
I think, you guys are, the thing about comedians is that we're like the blue collar workers of the entertainment business until we make it.
True.
So we have this camaraderie because we all join each other in struggle. Right?
Yes.
That's it. No matter where you come from, comedy will humble you.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right? Because they'll be like, all right, you got money, you got a trust fund. All right, but here's where you sign up for the open mic.
Yeah.
But
right.
when you are not part of something like that, it's very different. But when I know people who were white that were like, they could not accept the fact that they never thought it was going to happen in their lifetime. And they were like, the thought of a black man being above them just messed their heads up. And there was it was people of color who felt that way too, that were like, wait a minute, what? We never, everybody kept saying they'll
Why
never.
do you think they felt that way?
They never be, because nobody believed that would ever happen.
Chris
right?
Rock had a bit. You ain't never going to see a black president.
Yeah.
Never. Not in my lifetime. And that was like, what, 1998 he said that?
Yeah, people didn't believe it would ever happen. And then when it happened, that's when people started assembling their crews.
Right.
Where everybody was
Well,
like...
that's where it started with Trump. It was the birther stuff, right? That's where Trump really started his campaign. So it's an interesting point.
Yeah, because they needed a reason to invalidate him because he would... And a lot of people felt like that. People were like, he's not supposed to be above me.
Right.
Like, how is that possible? Like, that was it was just, and that's when it really started getting
That's
crazy.
funny. I hear him speak, and I'm like, he's way above me.
I know.
That's not my reaction at all.
Yeah, but it's
And the
not,
fact that he could play basketball too, I'm like, oh, this is like he's like really cool.
it's not fair. But it's not us though. It's the
Right,
people like
sure.
the people that you're talking about are the people who are mad that they couldn't finish high school and he went to Harvard.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And
sure.
it just messed people's head up, and that's when it really started. Donald
Interesting.
Trump just put the icing on the cake.
Oh, yeah. Well, I take comfort in the fact that Obama's half white.
Well, it was like a total swing where, like, we talk about how everything in this country is like, it swings one way, it swings the other. I mean, you can't swing any further from Obama to Trump. And then,
Right.
So, then you look at entertainment. Mark and I were talking about like sex comedies, how like where they can be like, filthy, and then they swing to being like, culturally a little more buttoned up.
Right.
Everything swings, and like, and then you swing, and now we're in Biden, and we're like, well, that's not, I don't know what to make of this. This hasn't swung all the way back yet. So which worries me is like maybe it's going to swing really hard in the next election.
It was
Yeah.
the country was desperate though. That's why Joe Biden got
You're
it.
right.
Yeah.
Like, everybody, and it wasn't because I think the average American was exhausted.
Oh yeah.
Because it was all we talked about was Trump and not Americans, and it was all day long, and that's why people didn't show up and vote for him that would normally vote for the Republican Party, because they were like, this is people who have dignity, like average people, your families they have good sense. They were like, we can't do this again. This is a clown fest at this point.
Well, I think January 6th was like really the icing on the cake, but
yeah, I shouldn't have done that.
but you look good in the paint.
Thank you.
But
I didn't think it was real when somebody sent me
I know.
I saw somebody scaling the building, and I was like, this is not, they look so.
I knew it was real because I get all my news from Kevin Sorbo.
Hercules.
But no, it was crazy.
Wasn't he there? No.
But yeah, no, it's been a crazy few years. But I heard a comic, Mike Rowland, have a great joke the other night about how Trump's followers would literally die for Trump. They would, and then like think about Biden's followers. If he asked you for a ride to the airport, you'd be like, ugh. I thought that was such a great term.
Oh, that's funny.
It's the truth, and it's a cult.
Yeah.
Like you see those people. What's his name? What's the guy that was on the Daily Show that would go out and interview the Trump people?
Klepper?
Yeah. The funniest videos ever. Like when Obamacare. They were like, he was like, how do you feel about Obamacare? And the man was like, I hate it. I think it's un-American and it should go. And they were like, what about the Affordable Care Act? And he was like, yeah, that's what we need. It's the same thing.
Whoa.
And he did a great video. They didn't even know. They just hated Obama.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But it was the same thing. But it's just multiply that by a great majority of the people. And it sounds bad, but it's true. It's like they don't have good textbooks. Teachers don't get paid as much.
Sure.
They got 45 kids in a classroom. That's where we are now, right? But we got all the bombs that we need. All you need is one to end the world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Good point.
what we know. But these are the people now who are weighing in on politics.
Yeah.
Obama made white people who never cared about voting. They're like, we're not letting that happen again. And they showed up. They were like, we're going to get up.
Maybe in the end, it's good for the country, right? Because it's like, well, more people are going to vote.
Yeah.
More people voted than ever. Maybe it's all this terrible stuff is actually long-term good for America, right?
But should everyone be voting? More people voting sounds good, but that's also more psychos voting. So it's tough. It's tough to say.
Yeah.
I think we just need better politicians. Our politicians aren't great.
Yeah.
I think this will be like our dark ages. I think
so too.
they're going to look back and they're going to be like, there was a time.
So we wrap up the podcast. I think everything's going downhill and we're all going to die.
No, I think it'll get better, but I think
Yeah.
they'll look back at us like, because I think technology, we haven't reached a balance with technology where we're thinking for ourselves, and we're going to have to at some point find balance, because we've gotten advanced technologically, but as human beings, we've gone backwards.
Agreed. And technology's going so fast. We can't keep up. We're trying to keep up, and we're really embarrassing ourselves.
Oh, think about the politicians we're going to have in 20 years. There's going to be videos of like, this douchebag is not one of you. He was doing TikTok food challenges on his...
I know, right?
Yeah.
Like, think about the footage. There's too much. There's footage of like, there's a blackface photo of Trudeau.
Yeah.
Like 20 years ago when there weren't that many photos. Think about the ammo there's going to be on politicians in 20 years.
This lady's running, I have your butthole on OnlyFans from 10 years ago.
And you've got my vote.
Yeah.
But it's a good butthole.
Yeah. Some great buttholes out there. You got to do what you got to do, folks.
I didn't even think about that. The TikTokers.
Oh, yeah.
It's all over.
It's all out there, yeah, because everybody's got a page or a profile.
It's over.
It's over.
And then we need to forget, we always forget or act like that we forget everybody's flawed. We've all done dumb shit, said dumb shit. So to hold somebody to one dumb thing they said, oh, you said retard in 1999, we can't have you around. You're like, I've said, I don't know, is that the end of the world?
Yeah.
Is he going to judge my whole character based on that?
Yeah, they even called me a retard in 1999.
Yeah,
are you going to go get those people? Like,
yeah, exactly.
It is. You know who's evil. You know who hates people. You know who's hateful, and that's why I say that there are some people that make mistakes, and we didn't. How many times have they changed the word? Right? It went from retarded to developmentally delayed.
Oh wow,
That's the term now.
To open micer is the next one. No, but you know, it's interesting. I saw this local news story. This woman, her son got murdered, and then she forgave the murderer. Like she was like, "There's nothing more." And by the way, I guarantee this woman's not on Twitter. That's not a person who's on Twitter.
So true.
This is someone who like went deep inside themselves to really be like, oh my God, like, you know, this is horrible. I hate, but like letting go of that. And we're fighting over words.
I know.
Like people can, it's been said to death, but people can bounce back. I think. I think forgiveness is a good thing.
You hope.
It's for you. It's for you because you're the one walking around harboring. And the thing about us, when people come for us, is they don't give a shit. They just trying to get retweeted. They want to get likes. They are making money. Like a lot of people who are, I'm here for the cause. They got shirts. They're selling merch.
That's true.
It's become, you know, like they are entertainers online. A lot of them are performative, and they're making money off of it.
Oh yeah.
They have on their bio for booking inquiries.
Yes.
Email this person.
Right. Then you go see them and they suck. And you're like, oh yeah, because I only knew about them because they tweeted about some shit.
And why you want to hear that person talk for an hour?
Right.
What do you have to say?
Good point.
That's the world we live in now.
I know. I hate it. Ronnie Chang had that great joke. He's like, hopefully Twitter will look back at it like cigarettes. You know, like, you used Twitter while you were pregnant? Holy shit. That's such a great bit. It sums it all up.
He's got a new Netflix special. Look out for him.
Oh, does he?
I mean, by the time this is out in a couple weeks, so it should be out by then. Yeah, he's great.
love Ronnie.
Oh, he's a new one?
Yeah.
He's funny.
We should probably wrap up, right?
Oh, jeez.
Well,
all right.
anyway, dude, great to have you here. So happy.
I had so much fun.
That was great.
Plug
Boy, I
some
got
road
fired up.
dates. You got, as you said, you have San Antonio coming up.
San Antonio. I'll be at the San Jose Improv, the DC Comedy Loft. So I have the Ontario Improv Punchline San Francisco, July 27th.
Love that room.
Me too, because the people who are woke do not come to the show. And then, but you can go to funnyaida.com. And then on May 6th, I have an animated movie coming out.
Whoa.
So
that's
I'm
great.
excited about that because I've never done anything on a larger scale than a comedy set. So.
That's great. Well, they'll take that away from you when you control it. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, no, every week I just tell on myself. Every week I tell people, I said this in 07.
Right.
I let people know in advance now because I'm tired of people coming for me.
I should also say, when I was 16, I fucked a 16-year-old girl. So hope that's, I just want to make that common knowledge. Both 16. Girlfriend.
It's over for you, dude.
I know, I'm fucked. All right, I'm all over the place as well. My website's a little wacky. Who knows where the hell I'll be by April 24th. Keep going. Oh, shit.
You're doing the Paramount.
Arizona.
I love that place.
Oh, you went back up. There we go. Keep going. Hey, the Addison Improv, Denver, Colorado, Colusa, California, all kinds of good stuff. That's Dallas, basically. Bricktown in Oklahoma City. And San Jose, Stand Up Live in Huntsville. That could be tough. Minneapolis, Minnesota, Chicago. You know it. MarkNormanComedy.com. Cleveland, Irvine. Where are you going to be at, Fetty?
Brea Improv, LA. I'm doing, what else?
There you go.
Nashville, Albany, Toronto, added a show there. What else we got? Providence,
Nice.
special taping in Chicago. Come on out. Tampa, Cleveland, you get the gist. Houston, all that shit. West Palm rescheduled because of my COVID from Orlando. Sorry about that. Buffalo, San Jose, all over. Love you guys. We might be drunkpod.com for merch. They got the koozies, got the glasses.
Patreon.
Patreon.com/we might be drunk pod. We love you.
And
Thanks
check
for
out
listening.
Aida's HBO and Netflix.
Yeah. HBO Max.
HBO
Fighting
Max.
Words. Yes. And then episode 3 on They Ready on Netflix.
There it is, folks.
Awesome.
You heard it here first.
Thank you so much for coming in.
No,
Thank
thanks
you.
for
Great
having
talking
me.
to you.
This was great.
Sunday's the day for my next offender. A bit of Piva wreck, the beer juice close. I've had a little too much bourbon, and Norman's talking shit about the fucking Pope. And I get down in the same way. Up on the roof like a cop's coming, and naked Samuel is feeling dangerous. I'm out to lunch here in New Orleans. This woman doesn't look like I remember her.